remained negative, but today is almost 50-50 and index remained volatile.
Pradeep, there was a lot of selling pressure that was witnessed in the broader markets, but let me start off with a stock which stood tall throughout the session on back of strong set of earnings. So Mindtree is the one I'm talking about. Stock at fresh 52-week high, good set of numbers, margin expansion, and also analysts giving a thumbs up. And as you can see, the stock closing also almost around the day's high levels with 9.5% gains. The other earnings reaction was Hindustan Zinc, which came out with its numbers today, but the stock closed almost at day's low, 4.5% down, and the numbers did disappoint the street a bit. In the last half an hour of trade, you did see Group Finance going up in trade, so that had a good session despite of, mind you, broader markets turning pretty weak. 10% gains, almost 10% gains for Group Finance, and Sanghi Industries is the other one which rose in the second half of the trading session, and that's closing with a day's high. 137 is the level where it would be closing around, so 6% higher for Sanghi. PG Electroplast is the other one which rose today. That was up almost 9.5%. Let me start off with the losers now. Just Dial. That stock collapsed, and mind you, this was a stock actually which was going up in the last few sessions. So when the markets came under pressure, you did see stocks which were going up. They were the first ones to come under pressure. So Just Dial down almost 11%. Adani Group stocks were down and about. Adani Ports came out with the numbers, but the street was not too gung-ho about them. So 3.5% lower there. Sharper cuts seen for Adani Power. That counter was down since the morning session, actually throughout the day. It's closed with cuts of around 10% there. Den Networks from the media space, that too came under pressure. That's closing with cuts of almost 8%, again at day's low. JP Associates is the other one, a high beta counter in the futures and options market. That too closing at day's low. So as you can see, these are the high beta stocks which are closing at day's low. May not be a great sign. The other group which came under pressure was the Anil Ambani group. So pull up stocks like Reliance Communication, Reliance Power, Reliance Capital, all of them saw cuts of between 6 to 8 to 9%, Neeraj.
Okay, I'm told the Yes Bank presser should be starting any moment. So when it starts, we'll cut to its trade. But while we wait for that to happen, I'm sure my producers will alert me when Rana Kapoor starts speaking. This is what the index has done. And it's fallen off completely, as we've said, throughout the day. I just want to mark 2 or 3 key statistics before we take in final thoughts from our experts. 1, the volumes. 2, the market breadth, and which was looking terrible at 2 and would have worsened during the course of the day, but should come up on your screen. 1, the volumes. Wow, NSE cash is at 41,000. This must be the highest that I've seen in a while.
I am presuming, Neeraj, yes, it should be the highest ever volumes that we've seen. That's barring all the block deals or whatever which takes place. But I've never seen a number like this on a normal day.
Yeah.
41,000.
And
even the FNO volumes, considering
yeah,
it was just the day of the Bank Nifty options expiry, not for all the contracts, it is definitely on the higher side. And hence that volatility, Neeraj, that we saw in the second half of the session today.
But just extreme volatility, yes, but the volume substantially higher. And there, the yawning gap, the advanced decline ratio is substantially in favor of the declines. Not surprising here, but just making a point that this is not the kind of advanced decline you have on a day when the Nifty Bank is up 2% and the index is up 1% at the start of the trading day. So it just shows the extent of reversal that has happened. And if you just look at the contributors list, we mentioned this, had it not been for the HDFC Twins and for ITC, which are the heavyweights. Sure enough, Kotak Bank, etc. have participated, but the HDFC Twins and ITC are the ones which are really leading, which are helping the index stay up. Otherwise, we would have been down and out in the session today. Okay, final thoughts from our experts. Vishwesh, a quick thought. Are there downside levels that you envisage on the Bank Nifty? We haven't quite talked about that today.
So my guess is that, Neeraj, a few session backs, if you would have asked me this question, I would have given you the answer that while the Bank Nifty was lagging and it has, broken above the key resistance, probably what you are looking at is much higher level. Now in today's session, the kind of sell-off which we saw from the higher level is probably exact reverse of what it was happening a month back. What was happening a month back is that broader market was surging and index was right there. So if I recollect 2008 memories, and probably you may have the similar thought, that it may may happen that the broader market tend to top out 2-3 months in advance compared to the benchmark indices. So distribution has to happen if there is a major top. And right now, if you call it a day of a total top, in my opinion, then I am not going with the thought that this may be the top. Probably it is a good idea where the people may have booked a profit because of there is too much optimism. So there is no distributions. If I am a large investor and I have a 100 crore portfolio, then I have not yet got the time to square off my position in order to distribute it in the profit. So all I had to do was I had to lower my bid and I have to sell it even in a some point where I can lose a 4-5% on a straight portfolio. So my guess is that there is a definitely time for it to call it a top. And as far as the bank nifty is concerned, my guess is that as long as we do not go below 26,000, which happen to be the very, very critical level from an options perspective, I don't see that we are looking for a major decline. In my opinion, we might head higher towards 27,000 also.
Let's wait and watch. Thanks a lot for that, Vishwesh. Mayuresh, in your portfolios, are you now, after today's move or otherwise, wanting to sit on a bit of dry powder?
I think we are sufficiently sitting on a reasonable amount of cash, Neeraj. And again, a large element is that any deep corrections that come through, I think qualitative stocks is the way that we look forward to invest. And we will invest in a very staggered way. So I think no two ways about it. I think our sense is that not expecting a deep gash into the market, but whatever opportunities the market does give over the next few weeks on the downside, I think we might probably lap it up to deploy the cash that we probably got in a staggered way in qualitative stocks.
Great. Mayuresh as well as Vishwesh, gentlemen, many thanks for joining in today and giving us your thoughts. Appreciate you being with us today.